Hi, I'm Kim Ellis, and I really welcome you to my Embracing Souls community. I just like to tell a little bit about my story and my journey with on to keeping above the wellness line with Young Living essential oils. So a few years ago, I had a pretty major crash with my hormones, and it was a little message, or actually a big message, that I had to really make some changes in my life. So before I started my journey with Young Living, I worked with one of the major 4 banks for 10 years before starting a family, and then I went back into the corporate world, and then from there worked 17 years in the direct selling industry with another company based around skincare and cosmetics. So for me, that was something that I really enjoyed doing, but had no idea that the products that I was using every single day were causing major disruptions to my hormones. So you can imagine 17 years of applying skincare, makeup and body care products from head to toe, let alone what chemicals I was using at home, was causing major disruption to my hormones and also to my endocrine system and so many other systems within my body. So, I guess we only all do what we know best for our families and for ourselves until we know better. And once we know better, we actually can do better. So that was a big lesson for me, that I had to make some really big changes in my life to get to a stage where I was 53, and really we're going through some major changes physically, hormonally and emotionally in my life, that I guess with the bioaccumulation of all those products that I'd been using over the years, thinking that they were made from botanicals, thinking that they were safe to use. I guess, like all of us, we do the best that we know. So, I guess for me it's about understanding the labeling of our products, which was absolutely quite incredible once I started to understand that, even though the labels on our products may say organic, botanicals, enriched with essential oils or whatever it is, I trusted the labeling underneath our Therapeutic Goods Association to be okay. I didn't look any further. So since going through that major, change for me, I guess it was a life event. It was a real turning point in my life where I had to make some pretty big decisions to get my health back on track and to get myself above the wellness line. So one of the things I started with was some of our hormone or balancing oils, which are things like Progessence Phyto Plus, our Lady Sclaral, Sclar Essence, and some of those other beautiful blends of oils, that was the first place I started with in Young Living. And then of course I moved on. I always had a passion to be able to help people, and particularly women. I helped run retreats for 3 years around helping and supporting women go through emotional and really deep emotional stuff that they felt that they were stuck and in this cycle within their life and they couldn't move forward. So I'd kind of been in that playground for a few years and had a real passion for being able to help people transfer from to become into some type of an awareness, because until it's in our awareness, we can't actually deal with it. So, for me, it was to be able to bring some awareness to people that we actually do have choices. So I don't know about many of you, but many of us have been caught in a place where, we think that being in that, whether we're stuck in resentment or betrayal or anger or all of those emotions or guilt is a great one that women all know how to do very well. So, all of those emotions are things that we have to learn to be able to one, be aware that how we're feeling, because it's really important that we understand that until we know how we're feeling, we can't get stuck in the story. That's the biggest thing that happens to most people, and particularly, well, it was for me too, that when we get stuck in the story, you've got to imagine that you've got, with your neurological pathways within your brain, it's like a kind of like a racetrack. So the more we keep going over the story of what may have happened to us, good or bad, the more we get stuck in that emotion. So through some of my learnings and some of the courses and things that I've done through over the years, it's really important that we understand what is the emotion we're feeling. So if it is sitting in places of resentment and betrayal and things like that, we need to be able to, one, recognize what that emotion is, and then to be able to work through it. So the second, kit or thing that I used to support myself in Young Living was our Beautiful Feelings kit. It's a combination of beautiful oils, 6 different oils that we use in a sequence that really helps us to connecting with those emotions, and then helps us to shift. And it's a beautiful program that if you use it once every day or once or twice a day for 30 days, it really does help you to shift from a place of where you feel stuck in your life. So kind of that was a little bit about how I got started. And I guess the more research and the more things that I learned over the time, I realized that one of probably the biggest things that caused my hormones to crash in such a dramatic way was the products that I was using. So, all of those things that have triclosan, sodium lauryl sulfate, even just brushing my teeth, the deodorant I used, all of those things contributed, and they bioaccumulate. You might only think you're using one product here and one product there and one product there. Anything that uses the word fragrance, probably about 300 different chemicals just in that one fragrance. And what I learned that, those fragrances and those things that we're using, they don't have to disclose what ingredients is in the bottle, because they can say it's their secret recipe for their fragrance. So, I was totally unaware of all that stuff and all those things that I was using, but soon realized that I needed to make some massive changes, and I was probably putting at a minimum of 500 chemicals on my body before I even left my bathroom of a morning. No wonder my body was a toxic minefield that I was, trying to process and eliminate toxins, and what your body can't eliminate, it stores as a xenoestrogen within your body and stores it within your fat cells and so forth. So, there was so many things that I really didn't realize that I was using day after day and continuing to kind of poison myself. So I was so grateful that I became involved in a community within Young Living where we had lots of people to support us and lots of people to guide me and start to take me on my own journey to I guess making some changes and not getting myself in a place of overwhelm, that I could start to make those changes for myself and my family. As I said, I started to eliminate things like toothpaste, deodorant, and all of those things that actually build up within your system, skincare, makeup, fragrances, all of those things I had to start to eliminate and make those changes. Even simple things like deodorant, it blocks all your lymph glands underneath your armpits. You know, they're our garbage bins. They're what's supposed to get rid of the toxins from underneath, from out of our, you know, to help our lymphatic system process. So, you know, I realised that there were so many things that I actually had control of that I could have changed. And I'm so grateful that I started to make those changes, because once I started to make those changes, I could start to help others, and I could start to share my journey with others and start to really become empowered myself and really passionate myself. That, you know, I just felt like I had this sense of responsibility that I needed to be able to help others, because I had so many girlfriends that were in similar situations, so many friends around me that were in similar situations, and you know, it was something that I just could no longer keep to myself. I felt compelled that that there were people out there that needed somebody just like me to hold their hand and take them through a journey. So I'm absolutely thrilled that I'm part of Young Living, which is an incredibly it's a family-owned company that's incredibly ethical. It has incredible values that actually puts people before profit. So, you know, that's really important to me, that we have a company that I can help others, it's not all driven by money, it's actually driven by helping other people on the planet. And Young Living's mission is to get essential oils into every house in the world, whether that's through donations, whether that's through gifting, whether that's through whatever. So and I absolutely love the ethics and values of our company. So I'm thrilled to have you as part of our Young Living community, and I'm really excited to be able to continue to help thousands more people. I've already been instrumental in helping thousands of people, and I'm really passionate about continuing to help thousands more people around the world. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, and I can still be able to help you with your journey, just like somebody helped me with my journey to keep me above the wellness line. So thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to continue to educate and to give you more information on some of those topics that I talked about. So have a fantastic day, and stay tuned for further episodes that I can help to continue to help you on your journey to keep above the wellness line. Bye for now.